This picture, truly one of the most unusual ever filmed, contains scenes which under no circumstances should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset.
Now, for the first time on the silver screen, a heart-stopping extravaganza. You'll be wide-eyed with wonderment. No one ever before in the history of motion pictures bothered to put a collection like this together. No man could ask for more.
Filmhouse Fever is a weird beast. It was filmed in 1986, or at least I think it was. There's not a lot of information on the internet about this thing. It was directed by Dominic Paris. You would never guess it, but nowadays he can be found primarily as a writer of kids' movies. No joke, he's written like 10 of these things and they all look like cheap ripoffs of more mainstream movies. It's a clip compilation film with the actors using slapstick gags and MST3K style mocking. We also get to endure random cutaway shots of their reactions to the movies in question. And we also get unbearable segments where they drone on about stupid shit for what seems like a half an hour. So why are we even talking about some lame video compilation from 1986 anyways? Well, to be fair, it's actually pretty good. But whether or not it's good or not, that's not really what's important. But what is important is who stars in it. And you would never guess who stars in it. Fucking Steve Buscemi. Yes, Mr. Pink himself. This was well before he was famous, but it's still amazing to see him in it. In this movie, he plays Tony, the dorky one with the bow tie. He is the smart one, in parentheses. He kind of reminds me of Donnie from The Big Lebowski. It seems like both characters have a penchant for rambling and talking about nonsense. The only difference here is there's no one to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Well, then you're the in and out person.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
The film also stars Mark Boone Jr. Yes, that Mark Boone Jr. of Sons of Anarchy fame. It seems like he and Steve Buscemi must have been good friends. The reason I say this is because they had worked together on 3 previous films. And one of those prior films was actually Steve Buscemi's first screen credit. So Mark Boone plays Vinny. Let's just say Vinny doesn't have all of his marbles.
Hey, Tony. You gotta see this. There's a guy in this movie looks just like you. Great 3D effects.
The video starts with a man in a tuxedo who looks like Robin Leach. He also can't deliver his lines without laughing.
Is unquestionably one of the finest films ever produced. With a cast of thousands. A cast of thousands. Yes, a cast of thousands.
He then gets taken away by guys in white coats. Oh, I get it, he's crazy. Well, at least from the start, we know that the video doesn't take itself too seriously. We are then introduced to the boys, Tony and Vinny. You could say they have a compulsion to watch movies, because that is all they do, apparently. The camera pulls back and we get to see their awesome wall of TVs, just like in Johnny Mnemonic. But unfortunately, they're not watching Johnny Mnemonic.
Double cheese anchovies?
We got parents and stuff?
You got parents and stuff?
I want the club sandwich.
Jesus time.
He's that guy who fucks your mother.
Their 40,000 movies end, and we get a terribly dubbed neighbor yelling at them.
Hey, you hear me? Turn those damn up, you idiots! The movies are over! They're over! The movies are over! Turn off the TV! What are you, stupid?
Steve Buscemi goes over and pulls out an industrial plug to kill the juice. That's just like the scene in Cool as Ice where they unplug the band.
Hey, yo, man, I got an idea. Come on, Steve, let's do it.
Well, I think we all know where Dominic Paris got the idea from. I mean, it's not like Vanilla Ice was ever caught stealing, am I right?
Sampled them from him, but it's not the same bass line. Like it goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding ding ding. That's the way theirs goes. Ours goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding. That little bitty change. It's not the same.
Tony then tries to get Vinny to snap out of it and declares that he must have smallpox disease.
Oh man, you're going off the deep end. I think you got smallpox disease.
Apparently one of the symptoms of smallpox disease is thinking that you look like Tarman when you look in a mirror. I don't mean to question this, but my hunch is that smallpox is not a real disease. I mean, it's not like it's on the CDC's website. They admit to not leaving the house for 4 days. What were they doing? Watching Stephen King's The Stand? We then get a lame list of things to do, followed by Vinny's bad jokes. First, tennis.
Great. We got one racket. I think that's...
Second, doing laundry.
What for?
Third, going for sushi.
Sushi? I love sushi.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good, right?
If you had a brain, you'd be lonely.
Come on, that's your best response? This is a better response.
Yeah, let's go get sushi and not pay.
So our two dudes with attitudes pick up the paper and read about a film festival. For $5, they can go see 8 or 9 hours worth of shit movies that people haven't watched in 20 years. So logically, they decide to go. I'm betting this film festival made more money than Howard the Duck did that same weekend. Let's stop for a moment and talk briefly about Steve Buscemi's acting in this video. Now, the man is a really great actor, but all in all, his acting here is a little hammy. It's true that the video captures some of that distinctive personality, but it kind of gets lost in all of his awkward acting. In one way, it's awesome, but at the same time, it's very cringeworthy. Did he just miss a high five? Yes, he did miss a high five. You want to talk about awkward? Check this out.
9 hours of non-stop moving!
I think it's kind of hard to imagine people in 1986 looking at Steve Buscemi and thinking, that's going to be a great actor someday. I mean, shit, he did Reservoir Dogs 5 years after this, so kids, there's always room for improvement. So the dynamic duo grabs their oversized food prop and they're off. They drive to the theater and we get treated to a nice silent movie gag. Steve Buscemi's facial expressions are pretty funny in this. Look, they were driving so fast, Steve Buscemi is now wearing their clothes. Isn't that funny? Not really. So they're finally there. And we notice that they're attending a non-stop film festival hosted from dusk till ... My guess is until 6 p.m. So they finally take their seats and then they start droning for like 2 minutes about which person starred in Debbie Does Dallas.
Hey, I wonder if they're gonna show Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah, right, with Debbie Reynolds. No, you are right. That was Debbie Boone.
Vinny, the character's name is Debbie. That doesn't mean they hire somebody whose name is Debbie to play the part. What's the matter with
that
you?
was
You know,
Debbie
it's the
Boone.
movies,
That was Debbie.
It was not Debbie Boone. That's
Debbie
all people
Boone.
see what you're
Definitely,
doing.
it was Debbie
Vinny,
Boone.
It's like, who the fuck cares? It's a fucking porno. Just get on with the goddamn video. And for the record, it was Bambi Woods. Oh, and guess what? There's a fucking musical. So, whatever.
Wow! My very first orgy!
As the previews are about to start, our two knuckleheads start talking about fucking Debbie Does Dallas one more fucking time.
You're right. I'm wrong. It was Debbie DeBona. Debbie who? Debbie DeBona. That girl we met at that party in Jersey City?
So we get a preview for the movie 2000 Maniacs. No, not the 2001 remake, but the original by Herschel Gordon Lewis from 1964. Real quick, the plot involves rednecks killing Yankees. It's notable for being a big inspiration to Tobe Hooper. He eventually got inspiration from it for his movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I like the part when they say, the most insane contraption ever devised for torture, and it's this thing?
Brutal, evil, ghastly beyond belief. You'll see the most diabolical device ever contrived, designed solely for assassination by a town of madmen, insane with bloodlust.
I would have thought it might have been this.
soft and sweet.
Ugh, it makes your skin crawl. I love the part when the narrator says staged in gruesome blood color.
2,000 maniacs, gruesomely stained in blood color.
Starring Playboy model Honey Mason.
Starring Playboy's favorite playmate, Honey Mason.
Then the words screen shocker appear, and I'm not sure you would call it horrifying with all that goddamn banjo music playing. With the previews done, we're finally into clip mode. The one thing I will say about these clips, they are bottom of the barrel. They are somehow even lower than Manos the Hands of Fate and Monster A Go-Go, and that is being generous. These are the type of movies that should have been on MST3K but weren't for whatever reason. There really isn't much in terms of plot till the end of the VHS, but there's a lot to pick through till then. We get a glimpse of the notorious Frankenstein versus Dracula. All I have to say is, Lon Chaney deserves better than this. Why do we have to drag this shit up? Think it might be a good movie? Check this clip out.
Oh, come on, will ya? The second time you've done that tonight.
I hear it again. Like a huge dog prowling the beach.
What the fuck does that mean? Is it because Lon Chaney is shuffling? Why a dog? That is so random. Besides, her boyfriend is more interested in getting in her fucking pants anyways. She then gets another line. Just listen.
I hear it now, too.
Oh, don't listen to it. Let's get out of here.
God. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, God. There is no sense of urgency whatsoever. Not like, my life may be in danger. Just going to act like I'm not interested while my boyfriend tries to get his hand down my pants. What follows is a clip from the movie Rocktober Blood. It's not so much the clip from Rocktober Blood that's notable, it's the overacting that our two dopes give.
Danger behind you! Look at
That's what we call overacting, kids. Somewhere from the deep heart of Canada, William Shatner is smiling down.
Major! Major Brown!
What's the matter?
Leaving overacting behind, we now move on to terrible audio. This next clip is from Dracula vs. Frankenstein, and it proves that Lon Chaney's acting wasn't the worst part of the movie.
Get out of the car, Dr. Beaumont. No friend of yours, eh, Doctor? See that Frankenstein and I have made some improvements.
What did they do? Crawl into a coffee tin to do the ADR? The next clip comes from the movie Gruesome Twosome. There's nothing weird about the clip itself. What's weird is the conversation that our protagonists have. Tony mentions that he really loves the girl who is being scalped.
I love her. You love her? Yes. Yes. Look at her. She can't do anything.
They spend another 2 minutes droning on and on about her fucking hair. All the while, she's being murdered. I mean, come on. It's the Debbie Does Dallas debate again. It's like, we get it. They're fucking dorks. Can we move on?
Look at her hair. What's the matter with Look at her hair.
What's the matter with that?
Look at her hair.
Who cares about some hair? What's the matter with it?
It's not even hers.
Now that we're done debating whose hair is sexy as they're being scalped, we can move on with the fucking show. The next clip comes from the short film Toro, Toro, Toro. What makes this special is that it was directed by Scott Spiegel. That name should have meaning if you're a horror fan because he was one of the writers on Evil Dead 2. on, the next clip involves two people discovering a body. One of them shouts the following.
Holy bananas!
Finally, for all of us who have ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, we now know what the chainsaw owner was like when he was young.
Oh, my banana. Steve, look at your hand! Steve! 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 Look at your hand! It's Montag! He's doing it! Montag!
Concentrate.
Concentrate? Did he just say concentrate?
Concentrate.
He did. Fuck me. That was the best take you could get? Then Tony cuts in and says this guy can't act. The irony is not lost.
This guy is...
Where'd they find this
guy? Can't act his way out of a paper bag. Oh, hey. I know, I'm serious. I saw him in a movie where he was in this big paper bag, man. Couldn't hear him, nothing.
The film festival decided it was done with horror and decided to move on to smut. We start off with clips from The Daughter of the Sun, some nudist movie from 1962. What's really funny about this is the nudist's reaction to the criticism that is thrown at her.
You seem to think I've committed some sort of crime. There's nothing obscene in the human body.
I mean, she could try a little harder. She is an actor, after all. She's so stiff and reads her lines so dry. I mean, we get it. It's low budget, but come on.
Who believes as I do in the glory of the sun?
The glory of the sun.
The glory of the sun. I really wasn't aware that nudists had a rallying cry. It sounds like a lame tagline for a fucked up cult or a network's new fall lineup.
There's lots of fun coming your way this weekend on U62. First,
about the new adventures of Gilligan and his shipwrecked friends. About Cord, 70,000 BC, a family struggling to survive in prehistoric times.
Wednesday. I have AIDS.
People are afraid of AIDS patients. We have a moral obligation to do what we think is right.
A special Doogie Howser MD.
NBC Joe Namath in the Waverly Wonders as the teacher everyone wants to have.
Tomorrow.
Dougie Dick.
Jonathan Winters and Randy Quaid star in a very twisted comedy.
Something about a woman in uniform. And there's something about a woman out.
It's the premiere of Davis Rules tomorrow after Who's the Boss?
it's a whole new weekend on U62. The reason television was invented.
Be there!
Remember the girl from earlier in the film? You know, the one fulfilling Tony's scalp fetish? This is the line she should have used to reject him.
You know you're about as much fun as cancer.
Or this one.
Go take a shower in formaldehyde.
During the kissing montage, we cut back to the boys and Vinny is talking about his first kiss.
Makes me think of my first kiss. 2 weeks ago.
I've never enjoyed myself more or felt more
Sorry.
like...
Really? That offended him? He didn't get offended when Tony was talking about a girl's hair while she's getting scalped. All I'm asking for are some fucking standards. We then move on to the 1965 film Bad Girls Do Cry. The only reason I'm noting this is because at this point the VHS tape decides it wants to give us annotated cliff notes about the film Bad Girls Do Cry. We then come to what I would consider the most awesome clip of this entire VHS tape. It's a short film called The Adventures of Cleveland Smith. This is yet another short from people associated with Evil Dead and Sam Raimi. This one was written and directed by Josh Becker. Becker worked as a production assistant on The Evil Dead. It stars Bruce fucking Campbell as a parody of Indiana Jones.
Say, Cleveland, why is it that you'd come all the way into the jungles of Brazil, fight Nazis, and battle with headhunters just to get a lousy pair of rubber pants?
Well, now, hold on right there, Sally. These aren't just any old pair of rubber pants. Why, my goodness, no. These are the waiters of the Lost Park.
Our next stop takes us to John Carradine, father of the late, great David Carradine. For those of you not familiar with John Carradine, just think of any crappy movie and he was probably in it. The clip in question has John Carradine giving a very gruff response.
Dr. Riding, are you all right?
All right. I'm all right. Leave me alone.
Sounds like someone woke up on the wrong side of the night train to Mundo Fine.
Night train to Mundo Fine. Night train to the end. Running hard and running fast to meet my future and away from my past. Taking the gamble that cannot last. Night train to the end.
Oh, to be blessed with an instrument like that.
Let me tell you, when John Carradine sings, it goes straight to the heart. So, for whatever reason, we decide to go back to Bad Girls Do Cry, and what follows might be the worst shootout in film history.
It's empty. Come on out. You got an even chance.
Holy shit, that guy is a terrible shot. I'm not sure what is more unbelievable, the fact that he didn't run around the other side of the fucking pole and just shoot the guy, or that the guy was stupid enough to come out from behind the fucking pole and get shot. I mean, fuck the Iron Man suit. The military should invest in telephone poles to protect its troops. I'm not sure who's more stupid here. The gunman, the guy behind the pole, or Tony for saying that it's fucking brilliant.
Brilliant.
At this point in the video, we're treated to another cutaway of the dudes. In this one, the clip that they're watching, Mark thinks that the guy sucks. But Steve Buscemi is like, no, that's why he's so good, because he's terrible. He makes you think he's bad, that's what makes him a genius.
You know what I'm talking about, right? What? The guy's great. The guy's done every one of
The guy
his
stinks.
No, the guy is a genius. He makes you think he stinks. That's his genius. You watch this, you say,
This
is
guy's
terrible.
great. Yeah, this guy's great because
Then
he's
you're gonna
terrible.
go home and you're gonna go,
Yeah, right.
that guy was a genius. That guy, he's brilliant. There's no other word for it. Genius and brilliant. There's two words. That's it. There's no other word.
Did he just describe Tommy Wiseau?
Hi, doggy. You're my favorite customer. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
We leave the terrible geniuses behind and get into our next montage. That's when our next pearl drops.
Your name's Susan, right? Right. My name's Susan, too.
Wait a minute. They're both named Susan?
Your name's Susan, right? Right. My name's Susan, too.
The dude is named Susan. That might be the most desperate attempt to get in a girl's pants I have ever heard. At least until this happened.
Grab him by the pussy. I could do anything.
As we finally near the end of the film festival, this happens.
Now this is what I call good taste. Oh!
Fuck! They just killed Charlie the tuna! Cutting back to the theater, the knuckleheads ask a guy if he loves it, and he turns around and he looks like Beetlejuice?
Hey man, is this great or what? Nobody says the B word. Come on.
That's when Tony and Vinny notice that everyone has turned into a zombie. They must be afflicted with the title of the movie, Filmhouse Fever, which somehow turns you into a zombie. They run out of the theater like chicken craps and run to the concession stand. There, the guy at the concession stand asks if they want goobers.
Corn? How about some goobers then?
Which I'm not sure if he's talking about the chocolate-covered peanuts or the peanut butter and fruit preserves. They try and get away, but are eventually overtaken by the zombies. At the end of the credits, there's some weird cryptic messages. I am assuming that that is a reference to someone's kids, and I'm sure as hell hoping that that's not referring to a kidnap victim. But I have no idea, and honestly, I really don't want to know. It's kind of fucking weird. And with that, we're done. All I have to say about this video is, it's great. For all of its shortcomings, it's a lot of fun. If you get a chance, check it out. I'm going to let the video's bad Rod Serling impersonator wrap this up. Till next time, have a spooktacular Halloween.
Throughout the world, there are those tortured souls who endure the long nights, forever trapped in a world of non-stop movies, their appetites never satisfied. A thirst for those memorable moments in film when the absurd blends with the sublime. To them, we dedicate this film. May they go on forever.
I want the club sandwich! You're tearing me apart, Lisa!